What's on the cards for you?
Kind of thinking about the scum manifesto. I wouldn't consider myself that kind of feminist. You know what I mean? I'm the kind of feminist that just a normal dude that thinks that men and women should be equal. But the scum manifesto advocates that we just kill off 90% of the dudes and give control of the world to the women. At first, you're like, oh, those genocidal maniacs. I actually don't care. Maybe that's what we should do. I don't want to live in this loveless ass world anymore, Gen Z. I don't have a girlfriend. You're not loving me. I mean, you're not. I don't have a girlfriend. You date the Popeye looking motherfuckers. You date the guys with money. You date the dudes two at a time. You never give me any kind of chance or love. Kill me. I don't. Take your scum manifesto and kill me. I don't want to live in this loveless damn world, Gen Z.
So, I put my phone number out there to see if any troll.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. And it just goes to show how loveless and unforgiving this world is. If you just can't let it go.
So, I put my phone number out there to see if any troll.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. And it just goes to show how loveless and unforgiving this world is. If you just can't let it go. I'm 40 years old. I'm a guy, just straight guy, single, left wing. So, I have a lot of friends that are not white, and I have a lot of friends that are, 18 because I go to college. And I've hung out with these guys a lot. 18, 19, 20, 21, that kind of age group. And you might be, well, that's a little weird. Well, you're right wing, so I don't really listen to your opinion. A lot of these guys are Latin and black. And some of them are white. So I have all these guy friends that are Gen Z, and I'm Gen X. And we've hung out a lot, it's I've bought them food a lot and hooked them up with weed a lot if they can smoke weed. But it's weird because it's as soon as they realize that I'm single and straight, they won't let me talk to any of the women. And it's that kind of greed and hypocrisy and bigotry that just pisses me off. I'm your buddy. I'm your friend. But at the same time, that age phobia, that greed, that classism, that thing that conflicts with the left-wing values that we hold, that's what pisses me off. And after Black Lives Matter, I got no tolerance for any of this shit. I got gassed because of bigots, okay? And when bigotry affects me personally, it's obvious. College was kind of weird last year. Well, it's 2 years ago. I took a year off to see if I could find someone. Every time I went to the bar, I got cock-blocked by Gen Z. 30 times. I would just be sitting there and they'd start talking shit. Oh, the 40-year-old wants a girlfriend. Oh, and then they just go along with it. So, I was in my English class and there was these guys that were studying for the Catholic seminary thing. And we were friends because we had work groups together. Then they started showing me all their girlfriend. I just sort of stopped talking to them at that point because it's we had that whole conversation about, part of the reason to go to college is to find love, and part of it is to get good grades so you get a good job, and I was interested in doing all those things. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's great. And then they walk up with their girlfriends. Oh, so, yeah, I put on this fake face, yeah, it's nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. I just sort of stopped talking to them because it's nobody cares about my struggle. Age phobia, classism, greed. These are all things that the left wing should be against. And I befriended Gen Z. You look and it's let's say you start a new hobby where it's oh, I want to play video games. So you start befriending video gamers and they tell you where to go. Well, I go to the dating sites, it's age phobia and bigotry. I go to the bars, it's bigotry. I go to college, it seems to be I don't know territory. It just seems like greed. The thing is, you'll walk around Spokane and see these guys holding hands with two chicks, and then they'll ask you, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not fine. It's your greed that makes me not fine. Are you gonna hook me up with a lady? Then why are you even talking to me? Like, you know all these women. You know I'm upset. I don't know. Maybe just be kind and loving and not age-phobic or greedy or classist. It's so easy to be a nice person. You should try it sometime.
It's not the same when you're 18 and you meet somebody your age. It's like when you're 40, you meet a chick that's 40. Yeah, you just go with it because you can. But if you're into age gap relationships and age gap science, and there's a lot of science involved in it, you start to wonder why, when you're a 40-year-old guy, when you see 18-year-old women, why do you immediately fall in love with them? It makes you want to be a better person at that. But, you know, the guys are there, so they're yappy, yappy, yap. Like, giving you this advice is like 18-year-olds, and you're 40, you're like trying to be polite. Like, yeah, it's a good idea. We should all hang out sometime. Yeah, maybe if there's time, you know, stuff like that. It's like, you know, do or die. I can't help it. It's biology. I see them. I fall in love with them. I mean, if you really want to have this discussion, like, you're 18 and you're wondering why a 4-year-old is, you know, eensy beensy simping towards you. The age gap thing is a science. I'm interested in it in a personal and a scientific level because I've dated older women and I've studied the science. So what I'm saying is, if you want to really discuss this, I'll buy you dinner so we can discuss this. It's Spokane. There's all these restaurants downtown. If you don't want to know, remain ignorant. I don't care. Go to the guy with the money in a Bernie Sanders state. Go to the guy because he's your religion, even though you're supposedly open-minded. Go to the black guy but diss on age gap relationships. Go to whatever. But what I'm saying is, with me, if you want the discussion, I'll buy you a burger or something, or a steak or whatever. It would be better than just like not eating while having the discussion. I don't understand bigotry, man. I don't understand the hate of this world. I'm not gonna lie to you Instagrammers, my crowd. I've been talking to like tons of women on Tinder. Like, there's been 10, there's 5 that I'm currently talking to. Of course, I haven't had a date in 8 years. So I've been having discussions with like 5 of them recently, and for like a couple of months. And they're beautiful, they're in the age range that I want to date. They're all 18 to 24, most of them are like 18, 19. So there's Tinder, and like 2 days ago I just asked if they all wanted to meet up at Clinkerdagger. Of course, I'm only going to take one. I'll take the first one that says yes, but there's 5 of them just with an invite to Clinkerdagger, and I've talked to them all for 5 months. Do you think this is going to pan out? Or am I going to get ghosted and trolled and just left to hang? What do they call that now? Zombieing? Where you have a discussion and it wants to move to the level of like meeting in person, and they just zombie you, or they just stop talking. Yeah, I'm waiting. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
I don't know you. I don't know where you are in the world. I know I'm in Spokane, Washington. I just read the latest coronavirus statistics. Okay. So there's the whole bar slut culture thing where you're just going to the bar, clicking with a different dude every day. I've seen some of those chicks every day. I've seen some of those dudes every day. I walk past the bar circuit to just kind of explore that, studying, well, the young generation. I see like the guys going to Fast Eddie's and swooping the chicks 12 at a time and 6 at a time, because they have money, or they're ballsy enough to do it, and the women are there just open-minded to it. I mean, you're going with these guys like every other day it's a new guy, or you're going with these chicks every other day it's a new chick or a new group of chicks. That's what you don't need to do. The Halloween party thing is going to be coming out real quick. It's not good. the whole culture of the slut culture or whatever, I'm fine with. I'm fine with being sexually promiscuous if you're careful. If my girl, if I had a daughter and she was into like 5 different guys and she was like 21, fine, whatever, it's her life, you know what I'm saying? It's COVID-19. I would still say this: don't go to the bars on Halloween, don't go to the Halloween parties. Yesterday the rates were 71,000 new cases. The week before it was 61,000. So that's a 40% jump from 2 weeks ago. So last week it was 61,000 new cases. A couple of days ago it was 71,000. Now it's 86,000. Do the math in your head, guys. Do you really want to go to the Gen Z parties? You really want to go to the millennial parties? You really want to meet up with people at the bar that you don't know over and over again? New crowd, not social distancing. You're at the bar scene, no masks. It's crowded on the weekends still. Are you guys just stupid? Not only that, are you guys just selfish? Because if you get the disease and you were the one to die, that's fine. But viruses have a tendency to jump from host to host. And I would say that my unluck on Tinder would have to do with that. But meanwhile, I see like the pretty crowd, the beautiful people, the stupid people out at the bars. What the hell is the matter with you? Why are you not in prison? Why can't we put these people in prison? Why can't we just lock down the bars? America's like, oh yeah, let's open up. Everywhere else in the world, Canada, everywhere else, is like, stay at home still. Why are they opening the bars up? Why are the bars even open? Why is the mall open? Why is the college open? Is this country just stupid and slutty and stupid and slutty and stupid and selfish? What is the matter with you people? I don't have any idea what 18-year-olds do. I mean, when they're trying to have fun. When I was 18, I went to one party in high school where everybody got drunk and hooked up except me and a few other guys hanging out in the garage. And I brought some alcohol, and I got in trouble with my parents for that because I was 18. They canceled my whole college trip, which just sent my whole life kind of to shit, and they didn't care because I was irresponsible that one time. So there's still some of that latent anger because I could have found my wife because I went on the trip to Europe and my parents who were travel agents took that away from me. And for years and years and years, I was mad at them and still am a little angry about that because I think that sort of ruined my life. Because they were a bunch of fascists, my mom and stepdad. I still don't. I mean, it's not that big of a deal because I know about telomerase, and I know that a 35 to 55-year-old dude will give your kid stronger DNA as per like 1,500 studies. And I know that 18 to 24-year-old women will give your kids stronger DNA because it's the high points of telomerase in the egg and the sperm. So at that, it's like, well, you took my life away from me and gave me a mental illness because I dropped acid and was tripping out one time in high school because I didn't have any friends who was trying to make friends. But, you know, science says this, so I forgive you, but only because science gave me new information in order for me to forgive you. My mom and stepdad kind of think that I'm manic, or depressed, and that I should take psych meds. As soon as I got off the psych meds 2 years ago, my grades went up and I started making more friends. And I was happier. So I don't know what the hell the boomers are talking about. Look, I'm not trying to be an age phobe, but you know you're wrong. And I know the boomers are supposed to be the hippies, and then they became like the pill poppers and the yuppies. So a lot of them just lost contact with who they were because of capitalism and overblown capitalism, and just got into things to make a bunch of money and stuff like that. And became kind of miserly about money. But I'm 40. I'm in college. I hang out sort of waiting for my classes to start again, just trying to do various things that I can do to get it going again. We're in the middle of a global pandemic called the coronavirus. I know what 21-year-olds do. They go to the bar and they don't social distance and they don't wear masks and they go party and they go hang out with the rich guys and they go hang out with dudes two at a time, and they're greedy and stupid and selfish and don't care about the disease, even though today is a high point of coronavirus at 86,000 cases in a day. So it's gone up like 40% plus 14,000 in the past 2 weeks. I mean, meanwhile, we're leftists, right? Or we were once. So, I mean, but that might be the 21-year-olds because, oh, look, a new two sets of chicks, a new two sets of chicks. In the middle, I mean, come on, just admit you're stupid. Just admit that your slutty little culture makes you stupid and you're spreading the potentiality of a virus. So, I don't know what I do. I've never been invited to anything by any 18-year-olds. They'll invite the black people. They'll invite the other races. What I'm saying is that Bernie Sanders won an intergenerational coalition. I don't get invited to everything. People like flash their girlfriends in front of me after I meet them. It's like, oh, look at my chick. Look at my chick. Oh, you got one for me? Maybe when there's time, they'll say. Something like that. I don't know. All I do is sit around, read a bunch of statistics on things like the fact that we're in the middle of the second wave of pandemic and people are out there just not social distancing at the foot of something. During the 1918 Spanish flu, 50 million people died pretty much from August to the end of the year at the high point of week 46, which is the middle of November. And the U.S. cases at that point was 75,000. At this point now it's like 232,000. And we're about to head into the second wave. If you're laughing at that, you're really quite slow. What do I do with my time? Well, I smoke a bunch of weed and feel left out because of social values, which are not very valuable and are very bigoted and greedy. And I live in a very liberal state and hang out with a very left-wing generation. So, I mean, if you're laughing at that, you truly do not understand my struggle. But that's what I do. You can buy an ounce of weed for like $75, so I usually smoke like half an ounce a month to cope. Helps my writing ability, my meme making ability. Ounce and a half on those heavy months where it's that high depression of no, I'm never going to get laid. No, I'm never going to find true love. No, I'm never going to find anybody to marry. Why 18 to 24-year-old women? 2 points. The fecancy of the ova. High point of telomerase and those permanent healthiest, longest living babies. That is literally what I'd like to study in college to get a PhD one day. Yeah, I know, I'm 40. Screw it, bigots. But I'm still left out. So that's what I do. You know, my online presence, making memes and making videos on Instagram. And when I'm not around, trying to get as high as fuck on pot because no one loves me. Oh, I would have proof of that. I would have a girlfriend now, wouldn't I? Oh, and why else 18 and 24 women? Are you blind? Because they're hot. People ask stupid questions. They do it just to annoy you. It's probably the freaking Republicans. I mean, as far as I can tell, like in people's public lives, they're very in favor of social distancing. But like after work and after school, it's right to the bar, right to the parties, right to the group things. It doesn't seem to me like 18 to 24-year-old people are paying attention to the social distancing out there anyway. I mean, I've seen women that I've seen like one day they're with one guy and then the next day another guy and then the next day another guy. I've seen women where it's like the same day I see them with a different dude. One of those works at House of Charity, and House of Charity is enforcing the public social distancing thing, but like in their personal lives, it's just a big sex fest. with some of them. It just seems to me like nobody cares and nobody's being careful, and they'll lie to you about it. I don't really understand why you're age phobic. Am I not good looking enough? Do I not have enough money? Is it that I'm not for your Republican values or something? I mean, there's Biden, and he's there like, well, we need more empathy. Well, I'm not experiencing much empathy from you. Oh, okay, I'm 40, so I'm the black guy you won't date, is what you're saying. Like, if you were to come up to me and start wagging your finger at me and I said, I'm sick of this, like the whole thing where it's like you'll go with the guys 2 at a time, or you'll just not pay attention to social distancing, or you won't even give me a chance, and you come up complaining to me, I'm just going to say, well, I don't like you either. If it happens on Instagram, I'll just block you. There's no point to be mean to me because I'll just block you. If it happens in public, I'll just be like, well, I don't like you either, sister. So you're either age phobic, which makes you a bigot Generation Z, or you're greedy, you won't love me, you won't even give me a chance because probably I'm poor or something like that. I don't know, I haven't really figured it out. I've never approached anybody in public ever in 40 years, never tried to, because I always viewed it as misogynistic. But there's no real open. You know what I mean? There's no real opportunity. I don't really want to go to the bar because they're just, you see them at the bar and it's like you'll see the same group of chicks or dudes different days with different groups. It's a cesspool right now. I would normally do that, but there's usually some meathead cock blocking me or something. Like I literally got blocked 30 times. They're just sitting there looking around, waiting for the opportunities, and then somebody talks shit. And of course, it provokes me to want to talk, so I don't, because I don't really like being put out there by a bunch of assholes. That's not fair. You Republican-y little pieces of shit don't belong in my state. You're like 10 to 1 outnumbered, so you should probably just shut up and stop. I'm friends with Isaac, but he knows all these women, and he's all out having a good time, but he never introduces me to any. He just wants to, smoke weed with me and, eat food off my food card, and I've told him several times to get a job. It's like, how do I make friends with people, you know what I mean? I've tried. I used to buy, the big sacks of weed and just hand them out to people because I was trying to make friends, and it's cheap, and it's like 70 bucks an ounce, so I was at the homeless shelter. I'm just handing it out. Of course, I go to different guys other than me. Nobody ever gives me a chance. I know you have to be 21 to smoke weed and drink and stuff like that. But I don't know how to make friends. When I make friends with the dudes, I mean, I've made friends, I'm not saying that, but when I make friends with the dudes, when it comes to the women, they don't want me to think about it. Well, that's not happening. I'm going to think about it until you hook me up. Or you introduce me to women or something. That's my purpose. I'm a guy, man. I want a girlfriend. You got a problem with it? Then leave me the hell alone. I don't want you in my life. If you're going to invite me to your little party or your sesh or anything, and you're just going to be there where there's no women for me to talk to, how is that fair to me? You're there with your boyfriends, your girlfriends. How is that fair to me? Is anybody even paying attention to social distancing in the public? It doesn't seem like it. Shouldn't we be kind of worried if this is the highest day for the coronavirus since it hit and everybody else is worried? Do I even try to make friends? Should I commit suicide? Is there no other hope? Are you telling me that there's no possible way that I could ever find a girlfriend? Well, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? And why are you so mean to me? All the time. Why are you so mean to me? Why don't you just reveal yourself as somebody who likes me so I can have a girlfriend? I want to take you out to eat. I want to get to know you. I want to have a conversation with you. I want a normal relationship. Why is this a problem? Why are you greedy? Why are you walking around with 2 girlfriends on your hand in the middle of the COVID virus? Why are you greedy, though left wing? How does that make sense? Why are you age phobic when you're for BLM? Why are you classist when you're for ACAB? Why are you not a Christ-like person when you're for thin blue line? You're obviously a Christian. Why are you hypocritical? Have you not read the stuff on money worship or forgiveness or compassion towards others or the less fortunate? Why are Christians so hypocritical? Why are there so many right-wingers with loud voices? Why is Gen Z so greedy and age-phobic and classist when it conflicts with all of our leftist values? Why can't I have a girlfriend? Why are you so mean to me?